Christ along with his family. Remembering the remarkable milestone of September 16, 2020, Coach Christ victory at Immaculata Football over College and Street Central right here in Somerville. Coach Christ has been a cornerstone of the Immaculata boys soccer program for many years, guiding his players with dedication, passion, and leadership while making an impact that reaches far beyond the field. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in congratulating Coach Dominic West on his 100th career win. And let's give him a big round of applause. Congratulations, Coach Dominic West. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and remove your hats as on American the men and women in 13th and grade with the playing of our national anthem as played by the Immaculata High School Spartan Marching Band. Thank you. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to the Nat-Torpy Complex here in Bridgewater, New Jersey, home of your Immaculata Spartans as they host the Bulldogs of Shabazz High School. Ladies and gentlemen, also a very special welcome as tonight is Spartan Band Day. And we are also welcoming the ICS students to Immaculata High School football, as well as the Immaculate Conception cheerleaders right on the sideline. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we're going to give the captains at midfield.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to UCTV, presented by Unitas Caritas. My name is Jacob Schmidt. We are here live at beautiful Torpy Field in Somerset County, New Jersey, as Immaculata looks to right the wrongs of last week and get a win against the Shabazz Bulldogs of Newark, New Jersey. Shabazz currently boasts a 2-1 record on the year. They've beaten West Orange and Lincoln by scores of 10-7 and 57-0. And lost handily in their last contest, 50-0 against a state-ranked St. Peter's Preps team. As for Immaculata, they are currently 3-1 on the season. They won their first 3 games of the season and then dropped the last one against Wequahic away last week. We're just moments away from kickoff, so we'll bring you down towards the field right now. Looks like Shabazz is ready to kick it away to the Immaculata Spartans. It's a beautiful, beautiful night here at Torpy once again. Weather is not too much of a problem at all. The sun is down and the sky is a beautiful color. As Shabazz hits that one on the ground, and a hard hit is immediately laid down on the Spartans. Nonetheless, the Spartans will start off with pretty good field position. We'll take a look over at their starting lineup. Once again, we have Bo Almeida and Jamie Marin highlighting the quarterback duties, with running backs Desir Spilly, Jaden Drake Murray. Nick Stokes is out tonight, will not be playing. Linemen CJ Montgomery, Jordan Harrison, Quayle Hardy, Luca Tadeo, and Christian Tazi. Wide receivers Damian Mack, Quinn Hayden, and Noah Doss. And at quarterback for the Spartans is Marin. Sends his man, multiple men in motion. They have a full line up front now. Little spin around, hands that one off to Drake Murray for no gain. Last contest, we saw Spilly wear the number 44. He's currently sporting number 8 once again here at Torpy. And if you've noticed, this is the first time the Spartans have broken out the gray unis this year. They were quite popular last year, and we see them for the first time tonight. As Marin rolls out left, throws a ball deep down the right sideline. Quinn Hayden makes a diving catch. And they're going to make that one. Looks like they're going to call that. I think the refs are going to meet up. They're going to blow the whistle and get a second opinion. And then they're going to rule that one incomplete. This would honestly be the perfect time to use the instant replay button, so we'll get that one sorted out. But it looked like a catch, but it seems that Hayden did not come up with it at the end, so they ruled it to be incomplete, and the Spartans are going to look to avoid third 3 and out on their first opening drive here. Third down for the Spartans. That one snapped, looking for a pass, and Hayden gets knocked down, and I think they're going to throw an obvious defensive pass interference. We'll wait for the official call. See where they end up with the spot. Seems they've yet to figure this one out. So we'll have to wait momentarily once again. So that does not make it an automatic first down. They have 3rd and 6. Marin in the backfield. And they're going to get them with the line shift on the encroachment. Shabazz clearly not happy with that, but nonetheless it's going to be a 1st and 10. First and 10 for the Spartans. That one's passed on over to Micah Smith, and he gets a good gain there. Second and short coming up for the Spartans. Second and short, Marin in the backfield. Everyone tightens into the line once again. That ball is dropped on the floor. It looks like they will come back up with it, third and short. Take a look at that beautiful pink skies as we see from our sideline camera operated by our very own Serafina Rosati. It is surely a beautiful night here for Spartan football. Immaculata is going to look to get it started early with perhaps a score. They need to get across midfield and secure this first down. Third and four coming up. We'll see what they draw. They do the line shift change again. Shabazz does not fall for it. Marin rolls out left, tries to find someone, and that might be one of the more obvious face masks I've ever seen. Yet the celebration still goes on for Shabazz, unknowingly seeing that that will be an inevitable first down for the Spartans. I mean, yeah. It's clear as day. Caught in 4K, as the kids say. And that will be a first down for the Spartans, getting into Shabazz territory for technically the second time tonight, but we'll call it the first time in this circumstance. First and 10 for the Spartans at the Bulldog 42-yard line. Marin in the backfield with Jaden Drake Murray and Salento. Sad Spilly comes across, gets a good yardage there. That was Spilly, not Drake Murray. And Spilly gets his night started with a quality run, getting the Spartans deeper in Bulldog territory, getting the first down. Spilly was handily kept at bay in the Wequake game last week. So you can only think that he wants to get his get back tonight. Another first and 10 for the Spartans. That one's handed off to Salento up the middle. Salento finds a gun. He's inside the 10. He's not going to be touched. He fires himself into the end zone for a Spartan touchdown. Brian Salento gets the scoring started, but there is a flag at the 15-yard line. We'll see if this celebration was hasty as well. Not too sure exactly what the call is just yet. Looks like they're going to have to consult both coaches on the matter. Well, if you didn't hear that, Immaculata, they indeed get the score, and they called a unsportsmanlike penalty on Jamie Marin after the play. But the score stands nonetheless 6-0. Mitch Carr on to attempt the extra point to make it 7-0. I believe they jump off sides, but Carr sends that deep into the hazy sky. Wait and see. All right, well, we're obviously no stranger to interesting things going on here. The extra point didn't count as they ruled the play dead, so Mitch Carr is going to attempt once again. That kick is up. That one's booted even farther into the night, and as they say, ball don't lie. Mitch Carr sends it again through. 7-0 Spartans lead, 8 minutes and 52 seconds left to go. We'll be back with you momentarily here on UCTV. Welcome back to UCTV, presented by Unitas Caritas. Immaculata just came off the score from a 29-yard touchdown run from Brian Salento. 8 minutes and 52 seconds left to go in the first, and Mitch Carr is ready to kick it away to the Bulldogs. Mitch Carr sends that one coming down the right side of the field. That one's fielded by Shabazz. Going to try to move around, running up the left sideline. And he's taken down at midfield by a host of Spartans. Good play there is going to give Shabazz average fielding position around their own 31-yard line. Shabazz is coached by head coach Nasir Gaines. And they're ready to go with their first offensive drive of the night. Looks like spearheading the quarterback duties is going to be number 10, junior quarterback Kareem Kostin. And running back in the backfield, senior number 1, Zayda McDonald. They're going to get ready for their first play of the night. Shotgun formation, one running back to the right. Receivers out left and right. Poor snap by the center. That one's picked up by Kostin. And Immaculata is going to get negative yardage against the Bulldogs, and that's going to set up a second and long for them. Penalty on them. They're going to have to decline, and Kostin's going to have to come out of the game for a play because his helmet came off. A little bit of chippiness, a little bit of back and forth between these two teams early on in this contest. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out between the lot of them. And Shabazz is going to use their first timeout of the half. And we'll be back with you momentarily here on UCTV. Second and long for Shabazz. Runner in motion. Gives it to the jet sweep on the right side. Finds a lot of space. Open daylight down the right side of the sideline. And going out around midfield. If that one play alone wasn't indicative of anything, it's that this Shabazz team is quick and fast. Immaculata's keys to the game are definitely going to have contain on those outside gaps and make sure they don't get outrun laterally. So it'll be interesting to see how the Immaculata defense is prepped for this all week as Shabazz gets their first play in Spartan territory at the Spartan 49-yard line. Shotgun formation once again. Two receivers out left, one out right. Another jet sweep, pitches it off in front once again, spins around a couple Spartans, and he's eventually going to be taken down the line for -1 yard. Second and 11 coming up. Second and 11 for Shabazz. That one's passed over to the right side. There's extra space coming down the right sideline. It's going to go inside the 10. And Shabazz finds himself, arguably a touchdown might have been too easy. Nosum Brown, the sophomore wide receiver, goes 49 yards for Shabazz. And they're looking to tie this game up. Looks like Shabazz will be going for 2 here. This might be another example of a team that always goes for 2. They're going to look to take the lead here. A little bit of an interesting formation. And I don't know if that ball was prematurely snapped or what, but it seemed like Shabazz might have been a touch off guard with that, and they come up a bit short. Nonetheless, the Spartans retain the lead 7-6, 7 minutes and 36 seconds left to go. We'll be back momentarily here on UCTV. Welcome back to UCTV. That one is kicked off towards the Spartans. Coming down the right side, and they are taken down. First and 10 coming up for the Spartans around the 31-yard line. If you're taking a look over here, looks like the full Shabazz ensemble has made it, and they are loud and proud everywhere between the cheerleaders, dance teams, and it looks like they have brought their band on the road, and looks like we're going to have a little bit of dueling bands going on tonight. So that will certainly be interesting, to say the least. I was confused for a second. I was like, I don't think the Spartan Band's playing right now. What is that? And as you can see, the cavalcade coming in behind the fence over there. The tubas are tubaing. I think it's going to be another fun night here at Torpy Field. First and 10, or first and 5 for the Spartans, rather, at their own 37. Marin hands that one off. Trying to get wide to the left is Spilly. He finds some space down the sideline, and he gets taken out low, right around the Bulldogs' 39-yard line. And another quality run there for Spilly. First and 10 coming up for the Spartans at the Bulldog 44-yard line. Immaculata does a little line shift change. Shabazz doesn't fall for it this time. Whistle here. And I must have spoke too soon, because they did in fact call them. That's another 5-yard penalty. Shabazz has gotten a few of those tonight already early on. And you know, this is a strategy Coach Colombo has used at Immaculata over many years. His first year in 2019 was when I was a senior. So I mean, the team should not be all unfamiliar to this, but you know, we'll see. Spilly tries to go up the left side once again. Doesn't get a ton there. Second and medium coming up. For those of you that are unfamiliar with Shabazz, the full school name is Malcolm X Shabazz, and they are located in Newark, New Jersey, just right around Hillside Avenue. So Immaculata plays a levy of those teams throughout the course of the season. Wickwake is also near side in Newark. Looks like Spilly's helmet comes off. He's going to have to come out for a play. Still going to be third and medium. Marin comes in. Delivers the play to his squad. 5 minutes and 8 seconds left to go and counting. Immaculata does the line shift change. And I think they're going to get them once again. That's going to be a first down for the Spartans. I think that's the 4th time they've gotten them in this first quarter alone. Almost only been half the quarter. Coach Gaines and the rest of the staff over there at Shabazz is definitely going to have something to say to their squad, whether it's at the end of this drive or in the locker room at halftime. But nonetheless, the Spartans get a first down, and they're sitting just a touch inside the 30-yard line, as that one's handed off to Salento, who tries to cut back inside. He's taken down by a swarm of Shabazz players for a couple-yard gain. Immaculata running a bit of a tempered offense here, taking their time as we go. I wouldn't say the clock has moved particularly too fast, but they are chunking up some time on this drive. So you can hear the Shabazz band pumping from the away sidelines as they hand that off to Spilly, who looks like he kind of faked the pass. And he gets taken down behind the line for a couple-yard loss. We'll take a look at that one again real quick on the replay. Looks like they handed it off to Spilly behind. It almost looked like he was looking for a pass to Hayden. So that was a little interesting trick that they might have disguised out there that didn't become available. Third and long for the Spartans. Marin in shotgun. One running back to his left. Rolls out, looks left, looks right, steps up in the pocket, moves out right, avoids a host of Shabazz players and gets knocked pretty hard just a touch past the line of scrimmage. Fourth and long coming up right around the 32-yard line. This probably is out of Carr's reach. Or I could be mistaken, I'm not sure. It's definitely a bit too short of a field to consider a punt. So it looks like they're going to send Marin in there for the 4th and 10. I wouldn't be surprised to see a line shift change here, try to get closer or something along those lines. I would not be surprised here at all, folks. Oh, they run with it straight. Marin rolls out left away from his throwing hand, going way back down. And he's taken down all the way back towards their own 45. So that one didn't work out quite as intended for the Spartans. And that's going to cost them as Shabazz now starts with pretty fair field position, just a touch outside their own 45-yard line. Just over 2 minutes left to play in this first quarter. And Shabazz is going to look to potentially take the lead in this game. First and 10 for Shabazz coming up. As that one bounces it out towards the right side. Shabazz has open running room inside the 20, down to the 10. And that's going to be a touchdown. Number 1, Zayden McDonald taking that one to the house. Let's take a look at that one once again. Handed right up the gut, just cut back out right. No outside contain outside that right tackle. And he just flew his way all the way down towards the end zone for a 55-yard touchdown run. That's now 2 long touchdowns for Shabazz. And like I mentioned in the prior drive, outside contain is going to be a critical key to this game for the Spartans. And it seems they have not found the answer for that just yet. As 2 long runs come on, running outside, well outside the tackles. So Shabazz is going to try for 2 here, try to get themselves back up to that 14 number. Sending a man in motion, trips right, drops back, throws right. That one's tipped by a Spartan. And for some reason or another, the camera was not able to follow. But I think it ended up being completed. So that's going to be 14-7. Shabazz leads. 1 minute and 57 seconds left to go in the first, and we'll be back with you momentarily here on UCTV. Welcome back here on UCTV. Shabazz sends that one away. Immaculata bringing it up the gut. Looks like that was Damian Mack. Brings that up to around the 38-yard line.
and 10 to the start. From their own 39. 1:52 to go here in the first quarter.
First and 10 for the Spartans. Marin shotgun alone in the backfield. This is new. Trips out right. And he tries to find that connection to Quinn Hayden, and he's unable to. It's just been something you've seen this season that really just makes you think, makes you wonder. I mean, Cole Hayden and Quinn Hayden, obviously, brothers, had such a close relationship and very, very well connected on all sides of the passing game. And it just seems like that same magic, that same spark hasn't been found in between Marin and Hayden just yet. As Marin tries to come down the left side, and there is no gain. Immaculata held some early momentum scoring first, but Shabazz has shown where their athleticism lies and knocked off 2 long touchdowns in 2 drives. And we sit here with a 7-point deficit for the Spartans. 3rd and long. Marin in the backfield. Drops back, looks right, fires the ball across the middle, and they're going to throw a flag. Pretty obvious pass interference there. We'll take a look at the play once again as Marin drops back, tries to hit a slant route over the middle. And looks like that was Damian Mack that got tripped up by one of the defensive backs. Can't tell if that's going to give them a first down, but it looks like it will because the chain gang is in fact moving. First and 10 for the Spartans coming up inside Shabazz's 47. Marin rolls out right, looks across, fires a deep ball just out of the reach there of Damian Mack. And there's a flag on the play. Probably a hold, but we'll wait and see. Looks like they're going to call a holding on the Spartans. And they will move them back. So 1st and 20 coming up, back in their own territory. First and 20 play for the Spartans, moves out towards the right side. And they get a little bit back there, but they still are a ways away. 2nd and long coming up. And if you hear the band in the background, it is the Shabazz Bulldog Band rocking over there on the away sidelines. You know, I can't say we are in completely unbiased booth. Obviously, in the sake of touchdown calls, you can hear where the affinity lies, but I believe I'm overly complimentary of the opponent's sidelines, especially when it comes to the band, because we've had 2 weeks of quality band play, and especially here on the road for them. And also no shortage of quality plays for them as well, as Marin gets sacked deep in the backfield, and that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. Immaculata is going to have 3rd and half a century to go. And we'll see what they draw up here out of the end of the quarter change. 14-7, Shabazz leads here on UCTV. Welcome back here to UCTV. We are back live at the start of the second quarter here at Torpy Field. Immaculata currently trails the Shabazz Bulldogs 14-7. As Marin drops back first play, unloads a deep ball down the left sideline, and that hits Mac right in the chest plate, and he's unable to come up with it. 4th and long for the Spartans, and inevitably Mitch Carr is going to come out to punt it away back to the Bulldogs. As Mitch Carr gets ready to send it away. Gets that one off going towards the right sideline. Shabazz is going to let that one go. The Spartans are going to let that roll out. And Carr gets himself an inside 20 statistic. And Shabazz is going to take over at their own 18-yard line. 1st and 10 coming up. Shabazz takes over once again for their 3rd possession of the night. They have scored in both of their prior possessions, both coming on long plays from around midfield. We'll see if Immaculata can play contain in this drive. So that one's handed off up the middle. Taken down by a couple Spartans. Few yard gain. Looks like it's about to be 2nd and 6, 7 coming up. Oh. Wrong on both of those. 2nd and 8. You know I got to get that one in once, folks. You know. Drop back, throw over to the right, little curl. Gets across one cornerback, makes a crazy juke move off the left side. And a big chunky yardage there for Brown, the sophomore receiver, has really been showing his athleticism tonight. I was a bit lost for words in describing this 1st and 10 there. Still just a touch inside their own possession, at their own 49. Don't get the Spartans to jump on a hard count. Sends a man in motion. Hands it up the gut. And that goes for a couple yard gain. They just get over into Spartan territory. And it looks like that one's going to be a 2nd and 7. And we have an injury down on the field. It's number 32, Brian Salento. Salento ran his heart out last game and was pretty banged up, so we will cut back momentarily to take care of that. But while we're doing that, we can go talk about one of his Spartan teammates. Vito Marcaglise is the 2025 nominee for the USA Football Heart of a Giant. Inspiring greatness on and off the field. Go and vote for our boy Vito at usafootball.com/heartofagiant and cast the vote. Voting ends October 12th. And if you have your cell phones on, you scan that QR code and that'll bring you right there. You could help Vito and the Immaculata program potentially receive an $1,000 equipment grant or even a $10,000 equipment grant. So not only does it could go to a good cause, but it is also nominating a good young man coming out of the Spartan program. as Immaculata gets a taste of their own medicine, and they encroach and give Shabazz an extra 5 yards. That one's tossed way out to the right side, finding the right sideline there for a decent amount of yardage. Number 6, junior, Issa Thomas. And that's going to move the chains. That one's going to be a touchdown for Thomas, but there is a flag on the play, and I think that one's coming back. Let's go take a look at that one real quick. Definitely looked like it could have been a holding on one of the receivers there, and they're going to push that one back. So take the board off, take the touchdown off the board for Thomas. We're going to move that one over to the far right hash. First and long at the Spartan 40 for Shabazz. Nothing on the hard count. Send a man in motion. Put the hand up the middle. And taken down by a couple Spartans for a few yards. Shabazz obviously holds the lead in this game, and by proxy can assume they are playing a bit better, but they have really not been doing themselves any favors with the amount of penalties they have gotten themselves into tonight. So that one snapped. Ball is on the floor, still looking left, firing a deep ball over the middle of the field into the end zone, and he still has his man in the end zone for a touchdown. Say it don't matter. Two-point conversion for Shabazz. Comes up successful. And that's 2 successful conversions for Shabazz, and that's going to give him a 22-7 lead. 8 minutes and 43 seconds left to go in the second quarter. You were watching here live on UCTV. Welcome back to UCTV. That one is kicked off to the Spartans. The Spartans Got to go down around the 40 yards. Salento back in the game fighting for extra yards. And like I've been saying all game, the Shabazz band is incessant and non-stop. We are groovy in the house, as you may be able to hear. And like I say every game, you know, high school, college bands just bring some sort of ambiance to the sport, and that's exactly what you want. So Immaculata gets ready for their drive, 1st and 10. They're going to want to make something happen sooner rather than later. And that one gets swallowed up for a lot of negative yardage in the backfield. I don't think Immaculata was on the same page there. We'll take a look at the replay there. Looks like Marin, well, not sure if it was designed or not, but did not seem to work out entirely in their favor. But it looks like Immaculata does get something in their favor. I think they called a personal foul. But they have advantageous field position. As they get across the field, they're in Shabazz territory at the 47-yard line. Marin in the backfield with Drake Murray. Direct snap, Marin just goes to run it himself. And he's taken down in front of a couple Bulldogs players. Doesn't get much there. Looks like a 2nd and medium coming up. Seven minutes and 40 seconds left to go in the second quarter. And Shabazz has scored on 3 consecutive drives. Immaculata hasn't scored since the opening drive that they had with the Salento touchdown. And at some point, you just got to buck the trend and figure it out. So Immaculata, obviously best case scenario for them here is to score on this drive and stop Shabazz from scoring on every drive. Because it is a momentum game, folks. As Marin drops back, throws a little out route over to Damian Mack, and that's incomplete. Marin just can't seem to find the connection with his receivers tonight. And it's also important to note that through just about a quarter and a half of play, we have yet to see Bo Almeida at all either. So as the season goes on, obviously we've seen Immaculata be a bit more specific and candid in their play calling. And we've seen so far in this game alone, they are definitely more on board with the pass. As Marin drops back again, he's going to throw a fade ball down the left side. And that one is caught over there by number 2. Quality catch over there. Good connection with Damian Mack. You know, folks, that is the announcer jinx working in the reverse, folks, right? You know, how many times do I say something and it just happens, right? It's happened at least 6-7 times alone this year. In the last 2 games even. As soon as I say something about Marin, he connects with a nice ball for Mack, and Immaculata now finds himself in decent territory in the Bulldog 25. As they try to get Shabazz on the line shift change. I thought it didn't work, but they're going to tag the Spartans with a false start. And Shabazz, I'm going to have to talk about the Shabazz game all night, but I am constantly fiddling with the volume buttons over here to hear myself think. So, I mean, listen, can't complain about a good ambiance. You know, it's easier to tell folks to calm down than it is to get them lit up. So, you know, we're just working with it. But Shabazz is definitely making their presence known on and off the field as we're about halfway to go through the second quarter, midway to the half. 1st and 15 for the Spartans. And they're going to call another false start. I'm not even sure who that was on. Let's take a look at the replay here. Not sure. Couldn't tell you. But another thing that is important to know about the band is that when you're used to operating quietly on your offensive and the band is, I mean, folks, I'll make the point after this play. As Marin looks over for the play, you're doing a little bit of a different play calling style, and it may have to do with the noise. As Marin drops back, steps up in the pocket, moves to his right, tries to throw across the middle, and nothing there. Yeah, so, folks, I'll make the point that, you know, these guys work on a verbal signal, right? So I'm sitting on the far side of the field. Mind you, a football field I think is 53.5 yards in length, if I recall correctly. And, you know, the bleachers are, you know, 10, 15 yards back. I'm 10 yards back off the field. They're a good 75 yards away. And, I mean, I can hear them like nobody's business over here, okay? So, I mean, they're halfway closer on the field as Marin throws over to the right side, finds his man Quinn. Quinn Hayden makes a couple moves and gets a good yardage there. Still going to be a third and decent amount of yardage coming up. So, as I was saying, the guys are closer on the field to the band than I am. And I'm having a hard time talking to myself and talking to, you know, my cohorts in the booth a few feet away. So it really does take a toll on the gameplay. And I think Immaculata has been trying to minimize the distraction by doing manual play calling signs after, you know, a first hard count. But definitely a very unusual dynamic you see at a home game for the Spartans. As Marin has 3rd and 8, looks left, looks right, throws that one into the corner of the end zone. It looks like they're going to throw the flag as Quinn Hayden got caught up with the DB down there. It looks like that might be a first down. We'll wait for the call. Looks like, in fact, that was not on the Spartans. Scratch that. I meant to say that was not on the Bulldogs. It was on the Spartans. Shabazz declines the penalty, and it's 4th and 8 for the Spartans. But they're going to set up Mitch Carr for a field goal. He's going to be kicking this right around the 30-yard line. This, I think, is his longest of the year. 40-yard field goal try for a high school kid. Mitch Carr puts that one up. It's got the length. And it is just a touch left. No good. I mean, 40 yards is a long way, folks. It takes me a long time to run a 40-yard dash. I don't want to tell you that time, okay? So, you know, kicking 140 yards is no pretty easy on its own. The Immaculata drive stalls at the Shabazz 18-yard line. And Shabazz is going to take over. Like I said, Shabazz has scored every time. So we will see if Immaculata has an answer for him. As both teams are getting their last-minute players on the field. That one's faked the handoff, throws over to the left side. And that one's incomplete. Flag thrown at the line of scrimmage. Looks like that was holding on Shabazz. It's going to move him back around the 10-yard line. So first and a long 20. Coming up for Shabazz. They got two receivers to the left, one to the right. One running back in the backfield. Dropping back to pass, throwing across the right side. And a good touch of tackling there for the Spartans. Settles them down to a few yard gain. Second and long still coming up. Second and 12, Shabazz looks to throw that one over the middle, pops up in the sky and falls incomplete for third down. Third and 12 for the Bulldogs coming up. Immaculata can make their first third down stop of the night and force them to punt it away. Two receivers out left, two out right, one running back in the backfield. Goes and drops back, surveys, fires a deep ball all by himself to the left side of the field, and he can't come up with that. Raekwon Clark was the intended receiver there. And quite frankly, the easiest catch you might have of your career just falls out of the hands of Clark. Although he didn't make the catch, I cannot believe how open that he got. I have no idea what happened to the Spartan defense over there. But they luck out, and they're going to force Shabazz to punt it away for the first time tonight. Or scratch that. I think they're just going for it. I don't think Shabazz... Oh, no, they are... They have one guy. They have Damian Mack back. Okay, they're going to punt. All right, that's what I thought. Quick little punt, not too far. Mack settles under it. He's going to go for it. He's going to go to the left side, cut across a couple guys, bring himself down inside the 40 as Immaculata starts with good field position. Scratch that, folks. That was Micah Smith on the return. You know, when you have a lot of single-digit numbers, you often mix them up. First and 10 for the Spartans. 3 minutes and 8 seconds. Marin in the backfield once again with Spilly and Drake Murray. Direct snap to Spilly. Spilly goes out right, trying to find the edge. Has some room. And he gets pushed out pretty close to the sideline. He gets all the way down to around the 28-yard line. Good carry for Spilly. Moves the chains for a first down. As we take a good wide view angle of that Spartan offense, Knight has fallen. Immaculata does the line shift change again. No flag. Direct snap to Spilly once again. He's going to move to the outside, up the left side. He's going to get a few yards at best there and bring up a second and medium. Second and a long 7 coming up for the Spartans. 2.5 minutes. Marin, Spilly in the backfield. Spilly, direct snap, right side. Tries to go up inside the C gap. Nothing there. couple yards once again at best. And a third and mediums to come. And I know it goes without saying, but the Bulldog Band is rocking the stands once again here on a big third down play for the Spartans. Direct snap to Spilly. Finds room to the outside, cuts across to get himself down to the 15-yard line. That's going to be a first down for the Spartans. Heading inside of 2 minutes. You may recall last week Immaculata had a little bit of clock management issues down in this territory at the end of the first half when they were unsuccessful in converting points. So I think it's fair to say Immaculata has a little bit more time that they're working with, but they're also being equally as patient. As they're inside the red zone at around the 15-yard line. That one snapped. And there's a flag on the play. False start on the Spartans. That's going to push them back to 1st and 15 and out of the red zone. Direct snap to Spilly once again. Up the left side, cuts inside. And gets down to around the 18-yard line. Immaculata uses their first timeout of the half. Stops it at 51.8 seconds. They're going to have a 2nd and 11 coming up just inside the 20-yard line here on UCTV. Welcome back to UCTV. 2nd and 11 coming up for the Spartans. Marin drops back, throws that one over into the end zone, and again just out of the reach. But another flag is thrown. That one is on Shabazz, and that's going to move the ball all the way down to the 1 or 2 yard line. Looks like I made a premature call, as always. And that one's going to be spotted at around the 6 yard line. I wasn't going to say it, because it might be the 7. Because that one is handed off to Spilly. Spilly goes over to the right side, fires himself forward. And nothing to come of that one. As another timeout is expended. $40 left to go. 3rd and short coming up here on UCTV. Welcome back to UCTV. 3rd and short coming up. Marin, one running back to his left. He throws over into the right side of the end zone. And it looks like that was intended for Mac. I got to call it incomplete. I have no doubts that Immaculata is going to go for it here. They only need a couple yards to pick up the first down and less than 10 to get in the end zone. As you see the Spartan crowd over there, loud and proud on their feet for the whiteout. We got a good group of people in the building tonight. And I once again hastily speak as they do, in fact, send the field goal unit on as Mitch Carr is on the field to attempt what looks to be a 24-yard field goal. Off the right hash. He's got a little bit of angle to go. Clean snap, clean hold. And that one is sent right through the middle. And Immaculata finds the first points of the night since the opening drive. And number 10 puts up 10 on the board. Immaculata 10, Shabazz 22. 31 seconds left to go in this second quarter. We'll see what Shabazz can do in the 30-second drill. There you see another fine shot of the Spartan faithful. If you know anything about the NBA and LeBron James, you know about the powder throw. Immaculata's getting active with it after every score. Hopefully they save some extra chalk for a touchdown because Immaculata's going to need a couple of those in the second half if they want to win this game. As Mitch Carr sends that away down the right side of the field. That one's going to fall out of bounds into the 40-yard line. Thirty and a half seconds left to go here. Shabazz is going to start at their own 35-yard line. I've mentioned these keys all throughout the first half already, but they're going to have to limit the deep throws and have outside contain on the runs. So we'll see if they can take care of that accordingly. Looks like Immaculata is pretty stacked up in man. They have one safety high roaming in Quinn Hayden. Alone in the backfield as they're going to take that direct snap up the middle. Tried to catch Immaculata looking somewhere else. They're going to get a decent piece of yardage, but not going to mean too much. So they still have a ways to go with a short amount of time, 22 seconds. And Shabazz is going to jog their way over onto their sideline and grab the next play. Immaculata made a statement and started the scoring off their opening drive, receiving the opening half kickoff. So Shabazz will, in fact, be receiving the second half kickoff. And you know what they say. Any points are better than no points. So Immaculata definitely considered wanting that field goal there over trying to vie for a touchdown, as there's still plenty of ball left to play, and it is only a two-score game. And they're going to make sure it's going to stay that way as they go into the halftime locker room. 3 receivers out right for the Bulldogs, 1 out left. Costin alone in the backfield. This one receiver comes in, flanks to his left. Drops back, surveys, fires the ball down the left side of the field. And I don't know who came up with that, but oh my goodness, that was a fantastic catch by Clark. Oh my goodness. If you, folks, believe me, if you want to watch that replay, I can't put the replay up because it's 10 seconds and counting. Shabazz needs to get something done. They're going to spike that. But wow. Wow, my goodness. Is that not the catch of the year or what? That might be one of the greatest catches I've seen this season. I don't even know if he fully caught it. I don't know if he caught it initially and that ended up in Spartan hands and he was able to rip it back, but I'm gonna have to go on my laptop here and take a look at that one again. I mean, wow. Talk about high pointing a football. That is elite. That was Raekwon Clark on the catch as he throws over to him again, and it bounces off his chest plate and goes incomplete. Half a second remains on the clock. So the irony of me boasting about Clark's incredible catch has that one bounce off his chest plate right in front of the booth here. And Shabazz is pretty much just going to have to chuck one up into the end zone, see what they could do here. Immaculata's deepest players are at the 16-yard line. So you can most definitely assume this one's going to be going into the end zone as that one's thrown down the right side of the field into the end zone, and it's just out of the hands. Bounces off the chest plate again, and that ends the half. Shabazz 22, Immaculata 10. Wow, they avoided a devastation right there. He had him wide open on the right side of the field, and they just couldn't use the hands. I mean, my goodness, folks, we saw some good catches. Sorry, we saw some unbelievable catches and some poor catch on that drive alone. But nonetheless, that brings you to the end of the first half here for the Spartans. They trail 22-10 here at Torpy Field. Stick around, watch the Immaculata Band perform this season's concert, Ever After. Thank you for being here with us on UCTV. We'll join you back in the second half.
Ladies and gentlemen, when the third page of this story unfolds, featuring Unitas presenting Hercules, Favorite Planet, the Broadway musical Into the Woods, and more, the Immaculata Football marching band proudly presents its 2025 chapter, Ever After. Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow night, the Immaculata Football marching band will be in competition in Group 2 Open. It will be competing at South Brunswick High School. That is tomorrow night, Saturday night, at South Brunswick High School. Ladies and gentlemen, with their 2025 program, Ever After, here is the Immaculata High School Spartan Marching Band.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Unitas Caritas, UCTV. We're about ready to go in the second half. We're moments underway. I'm going to cut over into the booth real quick. Got our very own Serafina Rosati, our camera operator and part-time color commentator announcer in. And just like we always do on the stream, sometimes to just pass the time, is we get to have our one-bite review. And Serafina, why don't you tell everybody what you got here?
A Chick-fil-A sandwich.
Okay, well, I did the Chick-fil-A sandwich a couple weeks ago. I got mine at the end of the first half, but I ate it already.
Shocker.
So, so we're gonna wait for your review. I believe me, I had a burger at Waukegan last week, and it did not live up to the standards it needed to.
Looked pretty nasty.
But the Chick-fil-A sandwich looks pretty solid, I must say. So,
Okay.
why don't you flip that headset up, give it a bite, and tell us what it looks like here. So while you take care of that, we'll just give a little bit of a recap going on for the second half. Shabazz leads the Spartans 22-10. They're going to receive the second half kickoff. Some keys to the game I've given, as always, is Immaculata needs to contain the outside, and they need to get away from the deep ball. So those are the pretty simple keys to the game. So we're going to kick it back into the booth. Serafina, you've gotten a couple bites in there. What are we thinking about so far?
I actually didn't think I was going to like it, but I actually do.
Is this your first time ever having a Chick-fil-A sandwich?
It is.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
I'm really picky.
Okay. All right, so how does a picky person feel about a Chick-fil-A sandwich?
So I'm weird with like textures and stuff, and I actually don't mind the texture of this at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to give it...
Don't say it. Don't say it.
I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10.
Okay, 8.5 out of 10. You heard it here first, folks. Come on over to Torpy Field. We sell Chick-fil-A sandwiches at our concession stand. So, you know what? Chick-fil-A isn't open on Sundays, but it's open at Friday night, 9 o'clock, 8:30 o'clock. At Torpy Field, which, you know, is honestly kind of helpful, Serafina, I must say, because the nearest Chick-fil-A around here, you got to go all the way to Flemington in the Flemington Circle.
No, South Plainfield.
South Plainfield. Is South Plainfield closer than Flemington from Bridgewater?
I don't know. I'm not good with directions.
Okay. Either or, give or take. It's at least 20 minutes. So, all I'm saying is if you're in the area and you have a hankering for a Chick-fil-A sandwich on a Friday night, and you don't want to drive all the way down to one of those places, why don't you just come on and catch a game at Torpy? With, also, give a shout out over to the UC Club. We have a new picture advert up. You might have saw it. If you go to www.unitascaritas.com and click and select the featured link, join the club, you'll be able to join the UC Foundation membership program, and with a UC card, you get free admission to every Spartan home game. And with the promo we're running right now, you can scan that QR code as well. You get a free Spartan tumbler with every new Unitas Caritas membership. So, folks, let's think about it for a second, right? Okay. You get a Unitas Caritas card, right? You help support the program, the capital improvements of the school, help us with the stream, everything else in between. You get free admission to all the home games, and you know what you can get at all the home games? You can buy yourself a Chick-fil-A sandwich, okay? I don't know about you, but if I get a chance to eat a chicken sandwich and do a couple good deeds, I don't know. I think that's what the calling is for me. So, there you have it for our one-bite review here on UCTV. We're going to be back with you momentarily for the start of the second half, and it looks like we're just about ready to go with it. We're just about ready to go here for the start of the second half. Mitch Carr ready to kick it away deep to Shabazz. He sends that one down the right sideline. Shabazz is going to let that one bounce. It's rolling on the floor. Spartans got close, but Shabazz picks it up and gains a good chunk of yardage, gets it around their own 35-yard line. We're underway. The Shabazz band is vacated from the sidelines that they have momentarily, so it'll probably be a touch quieter. The Spartan band is also coming back from their wonderful performance of Ever After. So we love taking a listen to them each and every week. And we have a 1st and 10 for Shabazz. That one's handed off up the gut. Cutting to the right. Extra space on the right sideline. Couple Spartans to beat. Down towards the 20. Inside the 10. Stretches out for the end zone pylon. And he's going to be just down at the 1-yard line. So close there. Number 1 on the carry there, Zayden McDonald. Almost took that one from the house. A huge 64-yard gain. Something around there. I mean, first play out of the gate, and Shabazz punishes the Spartans dearly. And I mean, that was just a halfback draw. They got a good seal block outside on the tackle and was able to get to the outside. And, you know, while it was a good blocking scheme by Shabazz as well, the Spartans are in dire need of having to contain those C gaps and the outside corners. And Shabazz is immediately threatening here once again in the second half. Just around inside the 3-yard line. Direct snap once again, cutting to the outside right side. And he's going to get in no problem. Zayden McDonald puts another score on the board for Shabazz. And that's going to make it 28-10 pending the extra point. 2 plays, 65 yards, all at the hands of Zayden McDonald. And Shabazz comes right out of the half and lays it on the Spartans. So whatever Shabazz talked about in the locker room, they just said kept doing their thing, and they do it right away. 2 plays. And now they got their 2 points away from eclipsing the 30 mark. Trips right, 1 left, 1 running back in the backfield. Drops back, quick slant over the middle. And that one is made. Catch there by Nosium Brown. 30-10 Spartans. 30-10 Bulldogs. Spartans trail by 20. Shabazz comes out, 2 plays, 65 yards, and scores immediately 1 minute and 10 seconds into this third quarter. Shabazz kicks that one away towards the Spartans. Picked up by Micah Smith. Micah running up the gut. And he's taken down around the 34-yard line. First and 10 for the Spartans coming up at their own 34-yard line. Marin in the backfield alongside Spilly and Drake Murray. Micah Smith out left. Damian Mack out right. Direct snap to Spilly, and they're immediately going to throw a flag on the play. False start on the Spartans. It's going to kick them back 5 yards. Marin comes in from the sideline. First and 15, Immaculata gets ready to go. They need to find an answer against Shabazz. Direct snap to Spilly. Spilly tries to move outright, cuts back inside, and he's swallowed up for a menial gain. Second and long coming up. And folks, there may not be the type of vibrant, positive energy on the field yet for the Spartans, but we have a vibrant, positive energy that has just joined us in the booth. Show yourself.
Yes, hello everyone.
Welcome in Rob Helwig to the booth. Rob is in for his second half duties. We'll give it a little chat after this play. As Marin rolls out left, throws a quick pass over to the edge, finds Micah Smith, who gets down to around the 39-yard line. Still going to be well short of the first down. They're going to have a 3rd and 4 coming up. Rob, what you been up to on the sidelines today?
Well, just attending to issues as they arise. I have to say, knock on wood, we've been pretty good. Thank you to all the dads that step up and help out here with all the tech and loading and unloading. It's been a joy to have some additional help this year, so thank you to all the guys.
Yeah, I definitely concur with that point. You know, you always like to call me Sinatra for when I show up to home games.
That's right. Just show up and sing.
Yep. Okay. As Marin rolls out right, he's immediately hit on the ground. And that looks like a one-handed interception. I saw that right in front, but I think that might have caught the ground first.
Yeah, I think it was real close, but a great effort nonetheless. And I'll tell you, this Shabazz team has some great athletes. We've seen some great plays, some great athleticism. Spartans have to get it together here in the second half.
Yeah, and before we talk more shop about football, I just want to make the point about the congratulations and the thanks you were giving to all the help. I do, in fact, show up over an hour before the game. So I think I do make my time in coordination with my other expectancies. But I will say that everything is almost perfectly set up to a T when I arrive for home games. So that is just always fantastic. As that one is blocked by Shabazz, the punt. And it's going to be picked up by them. And they're going to have runners around the left side. They're eventually taken down, but Shabazz is going to start off with some great field position as they fire themselves up the gut on the special teams punt, get a piece of that.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to start here at the 30-yard line, exactly what the Spartans didn't need there, Jacob, and maybe we'll get a big turnover or something here. We need something to spark a little life into us here.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that Immaculata has maybe been a touch out of sorts in these last two contests, especially, in the special teams game where they've had a couple incidents where, it may have led to points. At least it has in one instance. We'll see what happens here. But it just seems like things aren't completely meshing for them at the moment. So that one's rolled out left, and there's going to be no gain there. Spilly pushes him out.
Yeah, so getting back to you and your arrival graciously rolling in. You are here earlier this year, as I noticed, and a lot of times on the van with me and going up to the away games, so we appreciate that. And
well, I have no choice but to show up on time with you for the away games.
That's right. That's right. But I have to say, Sinatra-esque. You're looking good, always rocking the suit, the Spartan tie. He takes professionalism to a whole new level here, folks, and we love it.
2 receivers out right, 1 out left for the Bulldogs. That one's handed up the middle. And a host of Spartans is going to take that one down for a few-yard gain. Flag on the play. We'll wait and see what that is. Well, Rob, back to your point with that, you make a good point. We're pretty much approaching like the calendar date 1-year anniversary for UCTV. We started around, middle half, later half of the season.
Yep.
So, they say time comes full circle, and we've always almost completed that first revolution there. And when you guys came, I think it was. I don't know if it was maybe the first game, but one of the first couple games at home, I was presented with the Vineyard Vines Immaculata Spartan tie. So, at any chance I'm able to sport it, I have to do that.
Absolutely.
Shabazz drops back, steps up in the pocket, open space over the middle. Just slips over there in front of Spilly. That one's going to get down to around the 37-yard line. Still 3rd and long coming up for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it was almost about a year ago where we stayed a little late at a golf outing, and that's what got the whole ball rolling. We were doing live streams, but we had no commentators, no play-by-play. And it was actually after the Immaculata golf outing, and we stayed a little late. We were at the bar at RVCC, and it was you and Patrick at the time who said, hey, we can do this. And, like any good leader, right? Mm-hmm. I took the guys who were going to volunteer to do it, right? And I'll tell you what, I'm very glad I did, and I thank you for all that you do for UCTV, and the product that you guys put out is just phenomenal. Serafina also, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention her. She's a fixture here day in and game in and game out, so we thank her for her dedication on the camera.
Shabazz runs that one wide. They're still going to have 4th and long. Looks like they're probably going to either punt that one away or they might just go for it, considering they might be deep enough in Spartan territory. I don't see anyone back for the Spartans.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to go for it. Well, timeout.
Looks like they second-guessed themselves, and they called themselves a timeout. But yeah, Rob, you made a good point. The inception of all this came at the behest of the Spartan golf outing at Raritan Valley Country Club, usually held in late September. Right. However, if you just saw the recent Immaculata Golf Classic post today, that new save the date is Monday, May 4th, 2026. So, Rob, believe me, look, I know we got the closest to the pin there and the long drive, so you got plenty of time to work out whatever it is you got going on with the swing and potentially take on the defending long drive champ over here.
You played golf with me, so you know it's going to take more than from now till May to work out what I need to work out. But nonetheless, I go, and it's a scramble, which is nice because I'm like your 150 in kind of guy. Forget the tee. That's all you, Jacob. I've seen you off the tee. I can't even I played with you in a scramble. I don't think I got out of the cart 3/4 of the time. This guy can hit the ball, I don't know, 350, 370? I mean, it's not human what this gentleman can do to a golf ball. As a matter of fact, folks, we're amongst royalty here. He probably has not mentioned it, but Jacob is actually the defending club champion over at Cherry Valley. He brought it home in a 41-hole final match play. So congratulations. And also, for those of you who don't know, we got to tweet this out or get it out on Instagram. If you play Happy Gilmore 2 very slowly, Jacob is prominently in the background as Happy Gilmore's teeing off. So he not only wins club championships, he's also I guess, I don't want to say movie star, but are you in the SAG now? Is that, you qualify for that?
The SAG. Well, I'll tell you one thing about it. As Spilly rolls out right, loses another couple of yards. 2nd and 13 coming up for the Spartans. It's interesting you ask, because I've had featured myself as an extra in other smaller projects.
No kidding.
But SAG affiliation you have to pay for. So I don't do it that much, so I'm not part of SAG.
Gotcha.
But I will say that I might need to do a couple more rolls so I could buy myself a nice pair of earmuffs as the Shabazz band comes out loud and proud once again. And more or less immediately brings an energy to the Bulldogs as they take Marin down deep in the Spartan territory around the 22-yard line.
Yeah, they got away with a little late pile on there. Jamie took a little hit there at the end, and I don't think was necessary. But so set it up. The appearance at Happy Gilmore. What scene is that? He's teeing off. Obviously, I saw the still of it, but
yeah. So not too far into the movie, it's the part where he's teeing off in the Tour Championship, and he gets a FaceTime call on the tee box from his kids and John Daly. So, yeah, somewhere around there.
Gotcha.
Well, Rob, you should make that an Easter egg and have any local fans send it in and win a free Spartan tumbler like you get with a UCTV subscription.
Nice catch there by Mac.
As Marin comes back from a big sack by the Bulldogs and converts a long 3rd down, 3rd and 20 plus even. Great bout of offense as Immaculata desperately needed that. Down 3 scores halfway into this 3rd quarter. They're not only going to need to start seeing some offensive production, but also be able to protect that lead on the defensive side as well.
Yeah.
Marin hands it off to Salento. Salento tries to find an edge on the right side. He gets taken down for a couple yards at best. Rob, you made the point. Yeah, golf. Football is a physically grueling sport. Not at times, mainly always.
Yep.
Golf, I would say, is a mentally grueling sport. So, you know, there are the parallels that could be drawn between both, and you know, I would say I'm much more suited for the mental game.
Well, listen, as a guy who's close to half my age, Jacob, I can tell you, golf becomes more physical as you get older because I got a glass back, right? So I gotta be very careful how I swing, when I swing, and be as efficient as possible. So that's why a lot of times when you hit those 370-yard drives, I just put my driver back in the bag, get in the cart, and wait for the next shot that's really close to the green, thanks to you. So that's where I try to do my magic.
I don't want people tweeting on Twitter about that, but I wish I was in the Rory McIlroy, Bryson DeChambeau yardage range, but we definitely do get up there in numbers, and you made the point. We have played a couple scrambles together or two, and look, I understand the premise of you having a glass back. It just comes with the territory of hoisting the entire Unitas Caritas program and the Immaculata football team on your back. I understand it gets sore when you have to carry.
Yeah.
You got to rest it.
Yep.
So that's why I do my best effort to, only make you have to play half the golf shots. Let you play like your little 150 and in, because we just need the maximum effort out of you at all times. So it's what I would call a symbiotic relationship.
You are all heart. Thank you. But he's selling himself short, folks. Like some of his drives are just absolutely unbelievable. I could only wish to hit it like half as far as you do. But I guess that's why he's winning club championships and I'm playing in scrambles.
Well, listen, Rob. In the last one we played, I really wish I could be able to commend you both on your short game and your putting as well. But I don't know. I was just sinking a lot of putts that day. So it's. I made you even keep the putter in the bag at times, just because I wanted to make every shot matter.
You did. I think on the first hole you knocked down like a 35-footer to start the day off. I'm like, well, I might be sitting in this cart all day. But
hey, man, sitting in the golf cart, listening to some tunes, and drinking a little spirited oats in a chilled glass is not always the worst way to spend an afternoon. So,
and Jacob, while I have this opportunity, I just want to give a shout out to my old man who's out there watching, Bob Hellwig. Watches every week, so thanks for being a loyal viewer.
As Marin hands that off to Spilly. Spilly goes up the middle for a few yards, and they're going to have a third and medium coming up. I didn't know that the Robert Bob Hellwig lineage spanned such a long generation, but definitely I've met the younger of the two Hellwigs, and I can only imagine that there was just such an exemplary sort of discipline that was instilled, and the values and ethics of hard workers between the Hellwig family.
That's right. A long line of great Roberts.
3rd and 6. Billy bounces out towards the left side, trying to get over to the first down marker, and he's going to be a couple yards short. There's like a 4th and 2 coming up around the 40-something yard line. And Coach Colombo standing over on the sideline with Marin. So they are going to, it appears that they're going to go for it. Quinn Hayden checks back into the game. Fourth and 4 for the Spartans. Man in motion is Spilly into the slot. Marin rolls out right. Pulls back, looks to fire, throws it over. That one's tipped in the sky, but it does not matter as it falls to the floor. Immaculata turns it over on downs, and the Bulldogs are going to take over inside their own territory. 2 minutes and 53 seconds left to go in the third quarter. If calling an offense, if calling a game from the far side of the field wasn't hard enough, I'm having a hard time trying to think through my headset over here.
Yeah, I'll tell you, they really brought it today with the band, and I think of it's very reminiscent. Now they brought a crew, right? There's a lot here. We'll give you a shot of them over here. You've probably seen them in the background, but it's very reminiscent. The other school that does this is Weequake, right? Now Weequake may only show up with like 7 or 8 people, and they do not stop playing the entire game, right? They keep that. They're the Weequake Indians, so it's like that tribal music going on and on the entire game. So, listen, kudos to that band who's they've been making a lot of noise tonight, to say the least.
I think it's Texas A&M over there at Kyle Fields. They notoriously have coined the idea of the 12th man.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the Seattle Seahawks do that as well. And sometimes that's not always a joke or an homage to the crowd or whatever that comes to these institutions, these palaces of football worship. I think people might underestimate how much it can actually affect the gameplay on the field. I'll make the point after here, as that's a quick slant over the middle. That one's almost picked off by Damian Mack. Almost jumped the route on that slant, but that one falls to the ground incomplete. 3rd and 9 coming up. the point I was making was I think people sometimes don't fully grasp the significance of what a really loud crowd can do. And especially for Shabazz in this example to be on the away side and being so vocal, they could definitely mess up communications for the Spartans, even though they are playing with their own teams, playing on offense. As that ball rolls to the turf, incomplete. Flag is on the play. We'll wait for that one.
Looks like that was on. Shabazz declined. Bring up 4th down.
I do see that. I don't know if the down and distance marker gentleman has noticed, because it still looks like it's 3rd and 9, but now they flipped it. You know, Rob, like I was saying with the whole 12th man thing,
Yep.
you would think it would be wise for their own band to stop playing while their team's on offense, but maybe Shabazz uses a different set of communications.
Well, the only thing I've seen crazier than that is at Weequahic when the announcer was yelling defense, defense when his team was on offense.
And then in turn, that also confused the Spartan crowd, who started chanting offense for Weequahic. Yeah, no, I mean, that was a blur.
That was.
I think I said on air, quote, I've been a part of, football's been a part of my life for almost 25 years, and I have no idea what has gone on in the last few minutes of this game.
I mean, there were people running onto the field, people being punched, clocks that were going backwards and forwards and intermittently going at 2 seconds at a clip. I mean, it was something to be seen, that's for sure, man. Sight to behold.
I've definitely had my fair share of difficulties calling games over the past year, but that one was far and away the most difficult and confusing one, just because of all the antics and theatrics that were going on.
I missed it live because it was on the opposite side of the field, but I don't know if you talked about it, but during that field goal that was kicked in return for the touchdown, which ended up being the pivotal play of the game.
Yes.
A player from Weequahic came running off of the sideline to chest pump the kid who blocked the punt right in the middle of the return. So 12 men on the field, that should have been a penalty that came back. It didn't. And, it is what it is, but it was an egregious penalty that was missed, unfortunately.
That is factual. Being as it may, under New Jersey high school rules, they would nullify the touchdown and call it as soon as the player entered the field. However, it is interesting to note that not a single soul caught it at the time until after the game. So, honestly, in the way that sports works, that kind of is just in fact how it works. Nothing is a penalty or a flag or illegal if you get away with it, right?
Well.
And I think the same goes with life.
Yeah.
So, unfortunate by all means, but,
It was unfortunate, but...
As Marin rolls out right, immediately tackled, still gets that one over to Micah Smith, and he's going to get a few yards as we're getting down to about a minute and a half left in this third quarter. I think there were obviously some unfortunate circumstances for the Spartans in that Weequahic game last week, but I think a large part of it was also self-inflicted too.
100%. I mean, we were deep in their territory a number of times, just couldn't convert for one reason or another. But you know what? You live, you learn, and you move on, right?
Yes. And I think it's fair to say that last week and this week's opponents for the Spartans are definitely probably two of the harder, if not hardest, opponents they'll face all season.
Yeah,
so.
I agree. This is a tough bump in the road here, but There's a nice ball.
Fires that one down. And just out of the reach of Damian Mack again. And Marin threw a pretty decent ball.
Yeah, that
there.
was a nice ball. He had his hands on it, just couldn't, it was a diving catch, just couldn't reel it in.
But I was making a note, Rob, that the passing game, really all season just hasn't been obviously what they've expected it or what they wanted it to be. Although, ironically enough, last week they connected on the longest touchdown of the year in the passing game between Marin and Hayden. So it's just a matter of finding that spark time in and time again and converting in other games.
Yeah, and to be honest, I mean, they didn't really have to go to the pass a lot. The last couple games when they needed to, these are athletic teams. They're big defensive line. Oh, it looks like the Spartans may have recovered the ball. Yes, they did, Jacob. Maybe that's a spark we need here.
Let's take a look at that again. It rolled over initially, and it looks like they tried to recover it at the last second. And you can see pretty clear there when the punt returner falls to the ground.
Yeah, who is that? That's McCabe. Pete McCabe, John McCabe. John McCabe.
McCabe coming up big on the special teams, and we were just having a conversation before how special teams was, there was a conversation we had about it, but definitely a play like that brings it back to a center balance. I could be wrong,
Jacob, but I think that's his third fumble recovery on kickoff or punt this year. He's had a number of them up to today, so that's a great effort by John McCabe to scoop that up.
Well, we'll have to check the live stat book at the end of the contest when you're, taking care of business over there, so to say. As Immaculata gets Shabazz to encroach once again on the line shift movement. It's going to be 1st and 5.
And a shout out to our statisticians, Brian Hayden, who has been a fixture on the sideline with me going back years and years, even before his kids were here. Also tonight, alumni Billy Hayes is helping out too. Billy's done a lot for UC and Immaculata. We thank him being here tonight, helping us, and all he does.
Billy makes a couple cuts backs and gets himself close down to around the 8-yard line or so.
Yep.
That'll probably be the last play of the third quarter.
Yep.
Which is fantastic because we get to see the action right in front of the booth here.
It's like a haze that has fallen on the field here.
A haze is merely a tree compared to the locust storm that that fell on the field during the Petty game, I believe it was.
Yeah.
As we've reached the end of the third quarter, 30-10 Shabazz leads, and we'll listen into Kenny Craig give out the 50-50 of the night.
All right, we got a great vantage point here right in front of the UC tent. Spilly picks up about 5.
Spilly gets down to the 7-yard line.
It's enough for a first down.
First and goal for the Spartans at the 7-yard line. Immaculata is down 3 scores, 1 quarter left to go.
Another individual I want to point out is Brian Tozzi, who's here game in, game out, taking pictures, thousands of pictures, folks. Calls through them and every week puts up for all the players and parents pictures from every game. So thank you to Brian.
As Marin hands that up to Drake Murray, gets down to around the 4-yard line. There's a flag on the far side of the field on the right side. I'm not sure who that's going to be on yet, so we'll wait. Clock stops at 11:11. Make a wish.
Let's see what we got here. Personal foul against Shabazz.
And that should move the Spartans half the distance to the goal. So they'll be resting that one down at about the 2-yard line.
Let's see if they can punch it in here, Jacob. They really need to get this touchdown.
You would have to reasonably assume or hope that they punch it in here, because if they don't at this point left in the game, you don't know how much time you got left.
Yep.
Looks like they're having a bit of an issue spotting exactly where the ball should be. As we see Coach Colombo over there on the sideline.
He's a little perplexed as to what's going on here. I think we all are. All right, I think we're...
I have to say that I resonate with Coach Colombo's emotions most of the time. As that line shift change doesn't get Shabazz to bite. Direct snap to Spilly. Spilly running through multiple guys, and he just can't find the end zone. Looking like a little bit of theatrics going down at the goal line.
Yeah, there was a little bit after the play. There's a lot of pulling and tugging going on in that pile.
Well, Rob, as a former lineman myself, I could tell you it's a completely different dynamic when you're pass blocking in the middle of the field in 3rd and long versus, you know, 1st and goal or 2nd and goal, whatever in goal, inside the 5 trying to punch that in. It just has a completely different dynamic to it, and you know that's when the tempers really flare high. So we'll see if the Spartans can punch it in, hand it off to Salento up the gut. Just gets chucked right at the goal line. And it's just a yard or two short. Let's see where they mark this officially. But I think it's all but a given. This is 4-down territory for the Spartans.
Yeah, it's about, well, they're not really sure. I mean, pick a spot, right? Pick any spot there between the goal line and the 2-yard line.
Yeah, they've marked that.
Put it at the 1.
Touch outside the 1-yard line. Spilly in the backfield. Marin and Salento. Direct snap to Spilly. Spilly tries to go wide, jets himself forward across the end zone.
Touchdown.
And puts it in. Desir Spilly breaks the cold streak of quarters and puts that one in the back of the end zone to give the Spartans a touchdown.
You got a Spartan down on the play.
Looks like that's Micah Smith. Gingerly trying to make his way over to the sideline.
Yeah. Delay game unsportsmanlike. I don't know who that was on.
Well, it was a 5-yard penalty, so they said delay of game on the runner. Coach Columbus could ask for clarification, and quite frankly, I need one too.
Delay of game.
We're going to listen in here because I'm actually just as concerned as Coach is. It's going to need a third clarification. Well, 5 yards is going to be enforced on the kickoff. Nothing at the extra point here, as Carr looks to bring this to a 13-point game. Clean snap, clean hold. Kick is up.
It's good.
That one is good.
All right, so let's talk some strategy here, Jacob.
Yeah.
You're down 14, 9 minutes left. I mean, do you try something here on the kickoff? Are we to the point? I guess we're not into like onside kick situation.
Yeah,
at this point.
Yeah, definitely not. Especially when you hold all the timeouts. There's plenty of time to stop them. But Rob, I've been saying since, I don't know, when did this game start? 7 o'clock.
Yep.
Probably since whenever Shabazz's first drive was. The first play they ran, they got outside, showed some lightning speed, and got a huge double-digit yard gain. So, just been saying time in and time again that you just really need to take care of the outside contain, and also make sure you don't get any passes deep. That's the key. So they need to take care of that, and if they do, then they're gonna have a chance. But if not, it'll be apparent at the end of the contest whether that is succeeded or not.
Right.
Nine minutes and 22 seconds remain. Spartans down 13. Although, ironically, they have...
nobody's back. Kick the thing.
They got one guy back. Fielded cleanly around the 12-yard line. Spartans coming down, space along the left side of the sideline. They're going to break an edge. A couple Spartans to beat.
No.
All the way down the sideline.
Oh, no.
And he's going to go free inside the 20. One man to beat.
We got a flag.
Flag on the play. But Shabazz brings it all the way to the house. That is absolutely not something you want to see off a botched kickoff setup. We'll wait and see what that call is. Nonetheless, it's still going to get them really far down unnecessarily far down the field. It is, in fact, holding on Shabazz, so that will negate the score. But it doesn't negate the fact that Shabazz has gotten himself in incredible field territory.
Yeah, very good field position here to start off. Let's see if the Spartans can come up with a big stop.
I mean, Shabazz was almost in complete, like we were discussing, they were in almost complete onside kick recovery mode. Yep. And they were honestly moving around in the middle of kicking off, which might be different in high school, but I thought in the NFL or even higher levels of play that would be a legal shift or formation or something. I thought there might have been some nuance rule with that, because you never see kickoff teams moving around, even though the NFL has changed the kickoff rules. But nonetheless, it honestly worked out better for him, as that is a bursting seam up the middle.
He's gonna get it anyway.
And like they say, ball don't lie. Shabazz, one play, immediately puts himself into the end zone. And I mean, quite frankly, Rob, I think the two things I noted before was protect the deep pass and contain the outside, but neither of those had to come into play, because they were just able to stuff that right up the A gap and go in no problem.
Yep. I mean, there's no doubt about it. They have some great athletes. Shabazz, they're a great team. Tonight's just not our night, Jacob.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's apparent when, there's two parts of the defense that they might need some improvement in. When they go up the gap in a, stance that you haven't even talked about all game. It's hard to really, plug all those leaks at the same time.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
I mean, essentially what I'm saying is Shabazz has been able to pretty much score at will, and has done it on all sorts of the balls. They complete the 2-point conversion there on a quick slant over the right side to make it a 38-17 game. But I mean, I think that just goes to show you what a parent football is. You know, if you could score in the run game, both inside and outside the tackles, and pass for, you know, a deep ball and short, then you're able to score points and win games. So I think that's pretty apparent to that point. Now there's still a decent amount of time left on the clock. It is still a 3-score game. But if Immaculata wants to have a fighting chance, they need to not only score, but score quickly and also be way more efficient on the defensive side. Tall order, for sure, it seems, so far, and at this stage of the game, but honestly, crazier things have happened. We were in Waquake last week, and there were some crazy things that happened in that game.
There was.
That one's fielded clearly by the Spartans.
Look, here's a little
They're going
spark.
up
Here
the
we
middle.
go. Who do we have?
Micah Smith.
Micah Smith, number 5.
Brings that all the way out close to midfield. He only had 1 or 2 guys to break if he wanted to take that to the Baja. But Immaculata starts himself off in quality field position. Few clicks under 9 minutes left to go. And Immaculata has really been adamant about trying to utilize the passing game today. And I think at this point, from now to the rest of the game, we'll see a big amount of the passing game come through. Marin still in a queue. And also the laundry has been flying today, like, you know, the laundry has been flying today like a Sunday evening before school, or when your mom tells you to clean your room before the cleaning people show up. So, you know. And I think the score kind of doesn't accurately reflect the size, as Quinn Hayden tries to extend out with one hand and make that catch, and he's unable to.
Just out of reach.
2nd and 15 coming up. I know that last penalty was on the Spartans, but you would think if you look at the penalty statistics, I mean, Shabazz has jumped on that little line shift change at about 7 times tonight.
Yep.
And Immaculata's gotten some cheap first downs from it too. So, and there's also been, you know, personal fouls, but at the same rate, Immaculata has gotten clocked with some fouls that have mainly affected them on the kickoff.
Yeah, so right now, Shabazz, 15 penalties for 132 yards, Jacob. So you absolutely nailed it. Immaculata, 10 penalties for 65. Nothing to be proud of either, but
no.
But 132, that's a lot of yards. We saw a lot of pass interference and whatnot, a couple holding penalties.
Yeah, I mean, Shabazz has 1.5 times more penalties and over double the penalty yardage, but in no way, shape, or form has that statistic been indicative or rather correlated to the score, as Shabazz still holds a fairly commanding 21-point lead. Marin fires that one over the left side.
Oh.
He had Mac open over the middle, but throws it a little behind him, and that one almost gets picked off by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, they're fortunate that one didn't get picked off.
You know, I think people that watch at home have not really been accustomed to being on a football field underestimate kind of what those throws, how deep those throws really are, especially when you're on the right hash. You know, if you're on the 30, 35-yard line, and you're throwing that to the opposite 40-yard line, you think, oh, well, that's only 25 yards. But when you're throwing it, 30 yards
Booming
diagonally.
Punt, great punt. Let's see if this thing will stop.
Oh, my
no.
goodness.
Almost downed.
Yeah, I mean, that's just not something you want to see. I don't even think that would have went in the end zone.
It
could have just left
did
that.
a left-hand turn. Yeah, it looked like it was just going to stay there on the 1-yard line. But nonetheless, it did not. So Shabazz will get the ball back out on the 20-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, honestly.
And a great kick. Awesome punt.
Oh.
That was perfect spiral.
I mean, he kicked that all the way down by, like, their own 30, 25-yard line. I don't know. That was a boomerang.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, that was probably the best punt I've seen all year. And, I mean, look, like, we've been talking about the special teams, and there's been up and downs, but it's honestly, it's the little things like that that are definitely going to be made a point of, because that's about as good as you could do it. I mean, Mitch Carr would have had it pretty much down at the 1 or 2 yard line, and, you know, you just can't grant a good team like Shabazz here an extra 18 yards.
Nope.
As they run that one up the gut. Powerful 6-yard run.
Nice tackle there by Spilly.
And it's interesting because Immaculata has definitely shown flashes of what Immaculata football is, but it just seemed to be somewhat outmatched and outclassed so far today. As that one gets popped out towards the left side, moving around, cutting back in, being taken down. Shabazz is going to convert, get the first down there.
Yeah, I mean, listen, hats off to Shabazz, right? They played a good game here. They have some quality athletes.
You know, Shabazz is a very interesting case study of a team. They were ranked, New Jersey State ranked at some point, I think it was 18th about a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
And had a, you know, in no soft words, embarrassing loss to St. Peter's Prep 50-0.
Yeah.
And it almost makes you wonder, you know, as they've put up 38 tonight, you know, how did they not put up any points a couple weeks ago? And what does that say about, you know, St. Peter's?
Yep.
All the way up there in Bergen County.
Yep.
So it's interesting, the dynamics of high school football. I think once you get to the professional level, like in the NFL, as someone that's a Jets fan, week in and week out, you just know the Jets aren't going to get it done. You know, it's pretty set in stone, all right? The lines are sharp. But in college, and especially high school, it's almost about if just anything can happen. So it's very interesting to see. Shabazz has been having a good year and having a bad game, and it's like, you know, anything could just happen. So that one gets tossed away. 3rd and 8 coming up for the Bulldogs.
Good pressure applied there by number 36.
Yeah, you looking for my roster?
I'm looking for your roster.
I just rip it off the dome, Rob.
Yeah, all right, give it to me. 36.
Unfortunately, I didn't study for this exam today, and you know, as we're kind of pacing around the booth, I don't have my laptop open and available. That one's sent back across the right side, breaking a couple tackles.
Nice hit.
And a hard hit is laid on there by Micah Smith.
Yeah.
But I'm sure the receiver in Shabazz will take that any day of the week as they're able to convert there for a first down.
Yeah, that was a critical 3rd down. It would have been nice to stop him there, maybe get an opportunity to get one more punched in here.
I think Shabazz, especially in the first down territory now, is going to take their sweet time and maximum time allotted possessing this drive, because whether this be obvious or not at this stage in the game, they just need the clocks at 000 to secure that win in the win column.
Jacob, as the clock winds down here in the 4th quarter, I am going to bow out and start to get some of the gear put back, and I thank you for giving me the opportunity to jump in the seat here and join the banter. I appreciate it, and thank you again for all you do for UCTV and for Immaculata. It's greatly appreciated. We didn't get what we were looking for tonight, but hopefully those of you at home were entertained by Jacob as usual. So thanks again. We appreciate all you do. And be sure to tune in for future games, and I'll let Jacob here bring it home. Thanks again, Jacob.
Thank you, Rob, for all your hard work. It's always a pleasure to, get you in the booth and talk shop. But as we weigh in on the final minutes of the game here tonight, Shabazz has a 2nd and 11 in Spartan territory, dropping back to pass. Trying to throw a little quick curl route over to the left side, and that ball's incomplete. 3rd and 11 coming up for the Bulldogs.
Third down.
Third and 11. Spartans obviously looking for a stop. 2 receivers out right, 1 out left. That one's handed off the gut. That one's taken for a few yards. We're under 4 minutes left to go here in the fourth quarter. Shabazz faces a 4th down. And it looks like at this point, they're going to run some more time off the clock and punt this one away. Shabazz was missing 1 player. That one's sent off away anyways. Gets a favorable Spartan bounce. And the Spartans are going to have an offensive drive at their own 28-yard line. 3 minutes and 8 seconds left to go. I think we've said it in the last few drives, but this is their, I would probably comfortably say, their real last chance to do something, or else you could all but close the book on this game. So we'll see if there's any magic that comes out of this. Smarin's in the backfield. Rolls out right. Throws it right. Gets his man, who gets immediately wrapped up in the backfield. No gain there for the Spartans. 2nd and 10 coming up. Deep ball thrown over the left side, just out of the reach of Damian Mack. 3rd and 10 coming up for the Spartans. Two minutes and 24 seconds left to go. And I would say this is obviously 4-down territory for the Spartans. Marin drops back, throws over to the left side. Incomplete for his man. And like we've mentioned before on the broadcast, it just seems like the passing game is not all there. They just haven't been able to connect all night. And for whatever reason as well, we did not see Bo Almeida take the field all game. As the Spartans are going to punt it away. You know, it is 4-down territory time and distance, but being so far deep in their own territory, the Spartans wanted to potentially save themselves from another score being laid on here. But with the punt there, I think it's comfortable enough to say that it's almost a waving of the white flag for the Spartans today. And I really don't expect anything else to come of it, but we will see. Shabazz still in the shotgun formation. I'm not sure if they're going to just hand it off the rest of the way or they're just going to get some reps in. I'm not sure. They hand that one off the middle, cutting to the outside. Fighting forward for extra yards. They're going to get that one for about a 4 or 5 yard gain. Should get down within 2 minutes. Obviously don't expect the Spartans to use any of the remaining timeouts, and we have all but a couple plays left in this game. The Shabazz is running all the time they can off the clock. That one's fake handed up the middle, going over the right side. Makes a couple cutbacks. And a shoestring tackle made by Damian Mack over at midfield there. Saved the Spartans from another 6 points that could have potentially went up on the board. And there's 1, maybe 2 plays maximum left to be played, I would say. That one hands off to the left, cutting inside, going across, gets down to around the 30-yard line or so. And I would say that's probably the last play of the game. As the waning seconds come off of the clock here. That makes the game final tonight here. Well, folks, there you have it. Final here at Torpy Field. Shabazz Bulldogs 38. Immaculata Spartans 17. Immaculata falls to 3-2 on the season, their second consecutive loss. Shabazz improves to 3-1 off of their unfortunate St. Peter's loss 2 weeks ago. So we'll join myself back in the booth here. Obviously, once again, it was not the ideal night for the Spartans. There are definitely comments to be made on all sides of the ball. From the offensive side, one, they haven't been rushing as great as they've been, and the passing game just doesn't always seem where it needs to be, you know, at the middle-ish point of the season. on the defensive side, there might be some more keys that they have to highlight, especially playing these highly athletic, highly quick teams. And the special teams needs some working around in how that operates. So, that's essentially what it looks like here. So before we sign off, we will take a look at the schedule for the rest of the season. So we have completed 5 games on the season. 3-2, right? Okay. So there are 5 games left. We've officially reached the halfway point of the season. I know, folks, it's surprising to me, too. All right. So, next week, we have something special for you, I'd say. 6 p.m., October 4th. That's not Friday, folks. That is Saturday. We have a Saturday evening game at Hudson Catholic. So if you get tired of watching college football, tune into the Spartans here on UCTV. Immaculata goes on their first back-to-back away games next 2 weeks between Hudson Catholic and Snyder. And they got Lincoln, Westside, and St. Mary to round it out. We're going to bring it back inside one more time to the booth. I'm Jacob Schmidt. Thank you for joining us here on UCTV. And we'll give a shout-out over to the Unitas Caritas Foundation one last time before we head out tonight. So, Unitas Caritas was founded in 2018 by a proud group of Spartan alumni that were dedicated to preserving the proud Spartan tradition. They help with various capital improvements of the school, help work the streams, and do various other things around the campus. We appreciate each and every one of you that tune in and interact with us on social media. But if you'd like to join the club, please go to www.unitascaritas.com. Click and select the feature link, Join the Club. All it takes is a $19.66 donation to help keep the Spartan tradition alive. So that just about does it here for us at Immaculata Football. Thank you for tuning in to UCTV. We appreciate each and every one of you that stay with us tonight. And while we head out, we'll encourage you to go scan that QR code as we sign out. Make sure to tune back in with us, like I said, next Saturday at 6 p.m. as the Spartans take on Hudson Catholic. They'll look to go over their 2-game losing streak and right the ship. Thank you, everybody. Take care and good night.